All right, what's going on, everybody? So tonight's going to be kind of a special video. I haven't done one of these in the past 3 years in the unit because one, I really don't want to take away from the magic of how things are ran in the background for the player's experience, but many have said that it's not really going to matter. So I figured give it a try, and it'd be cool to pass on some of the Zeus knowledge to others. So I figured I'd do basically, kind of like a GM video of a direct action that we're doing at Alpha Special Projects groups. This is our talk, so basic rundown of what they're having to do. They have to push out from our talk. They've been tasked with going up and taking out the surface air missile site. Earlier in the quote-unquote day, the Latvian forces, then our friendly forces in the area, had a helicopter get shot down. So you're going to see what is a crash site and some local ultra-nationalist forces that have pulled the resources up into here. So they're basically tasked with, going and investigating that also. Destroying any kind of sensitive equipment that was on the helicopter, which there really isn't because it's been stolen at this point, which is what they're going to have to figure out. Anyways, obviously, this is setting up for future events. Another direct action, they're going to be able to go out and hit that, a POW site where they're going to be getting that helicopter pilot out. Kind of looking over what's been set up, you obviously have some patrols. This is a pretty light AO for them. They're a smaller team for a direct action night. So there's a little bit less going on. You can take a look at the actual site. These are going to be what they're going for. They're tasked with destroying several of these trailers. Not only have one's been set up, but we've staged to where they're delivering some more. So all of that has to be destroyed. Obviously, you have a garrison. These guys have been kind of split up into smaller groups so that they don't try and just stick around. And then you've got control points that have been set up. One of the other big things about the control points is you have intel that the teams will hopefully find, and we conduct SSE on sites. So putting that intel out there for us to further storylines is really important. But as far as that goes, that's pretty simple. The teams are currently maneuvering up to the lake where they're dismounting, and they're actually going to do a pretty long infill through the water canals so that they can try and kind of have a little bit of infill without getting spotted. We have been simulating a lot of surveillance on the front lines of this campaign or deployment. Basic background of the deployment is the Latvian forces in a prior deployment got pretty much pushed down to where they set up defensive lines operating out of this airbase. And we're kind of helping them a little bit get some traction and push in those lines back. As you see, we took out an AO up here, which has allowed a counteroffensive push to happen since the Russian forces, quote-unquote, have been a little bit disorganized. So creating that universe around them is really important to us. You see time after time in Arma units where you're tasked with doing things, but you have no idea why. It's just random tasking that you're having to do. So we try and make everything kind of clasping into each other and give a universe that's doing stuff. One of the other things you'll see tonight is there's a small mechanized force that we're going to have push up and conduct probably a movement up through the AO. Whether or not they engage when they push up through is yet to be seen. So creating that world around them, a little bit of chaos stuff they have to adapt to. And Arma AI isn't perfect, so we'll see how that goes. Chalk it up to sometimes foreign forces aren't perfect, right? So we'll see what happens with that. Anyways, we're kind of just standing by for them to start this infill. It's kind of a long infill, so we're probably going to have some slight patrols or events happening around them just so that they have that little bit of, environment around them and it's not 20, 30 minutes of just walking through a canal. Give them a couple close calls, if you will, and give them that experience. Alfa Romeo, this video, can I get a status update?
Voodoo, Alfa Romeo, stand by.
All right.
Voodoo's Alfa Romeo setup is as follows. Break. Alpha 1 is currently dismounted at grid 083056. We are proceeding correction. We're SPing on our dismounted movement to the objective. Time now. Over.
We got this all. Keep me updated on the movement in. I'll be standing by. All right, so just forcing them to kind of do check-ins, communicate with them, give that resemblance of having command back, keeping an eye on things. One of the things you're going to see me do is kind of setting up small firefights in the background. What this does is it doesn't necessarily affect them directly, but it creates that ambiance of an active war zone around them. So kind of spawning in just a few squads to fight each other in the background kind of helps out. And as you see, they're actually kind of reacting to that. So. These guys are really duking it out. Holy shit. Alright, and as you can see, we've got this mechanized infantry. Actually, have some of these guys break off. Looks like they don't have quite enough room inside of these homies. Kind of as you see, there's a good amount of them just kind of push up through. And you don't have to have extremely large, whole columns of stuff. This is creating an idea. There's a certain amount of creativity that has to go into making these environments, and you have limitations, of course, of Arma itself. So keep that in mind. Jesus Christ, these guys are just going at it. That's funny. Won the firefight, so. And it's estimated this movement will probably take them, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of getting in, so we'll kind of get this stuff going on. One of the tricks you can do is if there's AI units that you don't want to get destroyed, taking damage off of them can create really good version of creating that. Because if there's certain things you want happening in the environment, like say I want these 50s to continue engaging as they're pushing through without getting taken out, or then I can set up certain ones to where the driver and the gunner can't be killed.
Voodoo, this is Alfa Romeo, 7 ready, frontline trace. Grid 080057, over.
Contact done. Interactive, do you guys have ETA on staging for your assault? Over.
Stand by.
So that was CCT kind of checking in, letting me know.
Voodoo, this is Alfa Romeo. Alpha 1 saying that we're about 1K away from our attack position break. Say about 10 mics before we're completely staged, ready to go. Over.
Roger that, 10 mics. Be advised, Latvian light mechanized force is staging a little south of your guys' location inside of the town. They may possibly be pushing up through the AO. I'm sure this time I'll relay information once we have it available.
Alfa Romeo copies all, take it back.
Alright, and that's kind of just giving them heads up. They may have friendly forces pushing through. Unknown if it's going to affect them, but feeding them information, creating that world around them. This is what's called CTAB. Some people use it, some people don't. We use CTAB Devastator Edition, which is extremely stable. Older CTAB versions had issues with falling apart. You'd have crashes when opening them, so stuff like that, some RAM leakage. This one has fixed it, so it's super stable. We have next to no crashes from it. I don't even remember the last time CTAB crashed my stuff because I've been using this. And it just gives us a ability of marking stuff. It has some other stuff like we can text message for redundancy for communication in case our radios go down or out of range, or somebody maybe accidentally broke their radio, quote unquote. So just gives us that redundancy and extra tools in our pocket for marking stuff, understand what's going on in the battlescape. It's really nice. Very resemblance of ATAX, so as you can see, literally I can track where the teams are and what they're doing at this time. They're following along here, getting in position. And one of the cool things is, because we're kind of networked in, you can see other Blue forces, so they're probably tracking that mechanized forces and a little south of them inside that town. And if it starts moving, they'll be able to track that too, understand where they're going. Well, not where they're going, but where they're at. So just another little cool tool in the toolbox. We'll continue kind of getting things staged and figuring out what we're going to do next. These guys have a little bit of movement in. Probably we are going to take a sentry team and have them kind of move down through there. So obviously, the team leads have ability to make calls, and this water's probably pretty deep for them to actually be in. So they've made the decision kind of push out, straddle the side, which is good to see. One of the big things we try to promote in Alpha is that making decision making on a team level. And you can see that kind of in action right there. These guys are jogging it up. Have them hold fire. So then the idea behind these guys is not for them to necessarily engage them, but this starts creating kind of that idea that there's patrols around them. They're probably trying to stay covert all the way up to this point. In fact, they might see them right now. It looks like they dipped down in. Oh, they got down in, so they probably don't quite know they're there yet. That's okay. So if they see them, they see them. If not, oh well. Oh, see, they just saw him. So that's going to be one of those things. They're probably going to kind of make that call.
Voodoo, this is Alfa Romeo, saving right for frontline trace. Grid 073059, over.
Contact.
At this time, Alpha 1 is currently in a short halt break. Currently monitoring a nearby dismounted patrol, over.
Voodoo copy, so I'll keep you updated. Voodoo out. So that's them kind of making that call. It looks like they possibly were spotted, so. So once again, kind of just taking that, making sure that these guys aren't pulling from that experience, because just because they saw them doesn't mean we want them to actually engage. They probably saw that they were kind of like looking around, like they might have saw something, but they've moved on at this point. So. Obviously, Arma AI being Arma AI is being a little funky about it, but it'll figure it out. We'll see if they make the call just to push by, or if they make the call to go ahead and take these guys out. Unsure what it is, but at this point, we're going to have our guys up here start pushing through and staging. So that's going to create kind of a different situation also. Arma, one of the big
Voodoo is Alfa Romeo, Alpha 1's Charlie Mike.
For whatever reason, this guy is not wanting to move, I guess.
Solid copy.
Very odd. We might have to play around with that. Apparently, AI being AI. Oh, it didn't put a driver in. That's why. That going on. So go ahead and move these guys up. So those guys will probably engage now. For whatever reason, these guys are like not able to move, which is not at all ideal. Now that we had that happen, we'll kind of start simulating them sending some QRFs to investigate why, and that'll actually help them out a little bit with pulling a little bit of forces out of here. Because it is a little, I wouldn't say heavy, but possibly a large concentration of troops in here. So they aren't here yet, and they don't have anything up, so we can kind of do this, which is nice.
فهمیدم. انجام میدم. فهمیدم. دارم میام. انجام میدم. دریافت شد. دارم میام. دریافت شد. دارم میام. On the way.
That is really not great. Using this Latvian mod, I feel like there's some compatibility weirdness here and there. It's easy to fix though. What we'll do is we'll just utilize some regular army guys. They won't be able to tell the difference.
Standing by. Ready. On the way.
Some of these ones are working just fine.
Roger that. Roger. Understood. On the way. Solid copy. On the way. Copy.
So they're starting to connect their infill up through here. They're probably trying not to engage things. They're reacting like they should and pushing up to their actual target. It's not everything that is their target. It's something to be really cognizant of.
On the way. On the way.
We'll See if we can get Arma AI driving the way we want. That's always
On the way.
the truest of challenges.
Voodoo, this is Alpha Romeo. Alpha 1 has reached station position. Time now. Over.
Put it. All right. So we're starting to see kind of some engagements down there, kind of signifying that mechanized infantry kind of pushing in. They're going to hear that in the background. They're getting staged to push up and conduct their assault on the base. They're doing probably a short halt, kind of taking a look at things and then pushing in.
Voodoo, this is Alpha 1. Correction, Alpha Romeo.
Voodoo Central.
I currently, I'm looking at a unarmored Humvee with a 50 cal on it, and it's on my ATAC as a friendly wheeled mechanized infantry unit. Can you confirm, is that the Latvian, the light armor unit? Over.
Hey, firm. I'm guessing that's them pushing up through into the sector. They're probably going to be pushing up north of you guys. They've been informed already that you guys are operating in the area, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Alpha Romeo, copies all.
So that's them just verifying these are friendly forces pushing through and making sure that they're tracking what's going on, which is good on them.
Wilco. Understood. Roger that. On the way.
So this puts kind of a wrench
Copy.
in a little bit, because this means that no longer do they have just like complete stillness in enemy activity in the area.
Roger that.
They're now having to kind of have their operation in tempo with these guys pushing through.
Copy that.
So once again, just kind of
This
creating
is Alpha Romeo. Alpha 1's conducting our assault time now.
kind of creating that environment. Who comes?
On the way.
Be an AI.
Solid copy. On the way. Wilco.
Come on, buddy.
Solid copy.
This guy's being a little bit iffy, so we can go ahead and remove controlling. Oh, that's just
Alpha Romeo, Alpha 1, troops in contact.
So as you see, the team's going to be pushing up through together. They're starting to push in. rear security. There we go. One guy down. So here you're gonna see the medic has pulled one guy down, kind of pushed him off to the side so that he can start working on him. The other two are providing security while they're doing that. They're a small team, so they don't really have the ability to completely keep tempo up. And currently, the team's starting to get some of it cleared out. They've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more guys inside. So pretty doable with 4 guys. Sadly, they've got one down, so they're gonna have that short halt. We'll see how things continue playing out. Oh no! What just happened? Alright, we're gonna have to fix that. As you see, that is why you have to be pretty dang careful about this stuff. Whatever is this guy was connected to that, which is really weird. I think that Dean's having real life problems right now, and that's probably why he's having to kind of take that halt out there on the perimeter.
On the way. Roger that.
Have these guys kind of push across, mechanized corridor. It's definitely hurt, so. Must have used thermals to look through the smoke. So one of the things we utilize is we have Ducati. Possibly they use Ducati to look through the smoke and track him. So good on them utilizing their tools. Kind of a lull in the firefight while they're trying to conduct that medical. Make sure everybody's all good. If you look, he's starting to slap him, which means he's got him pretty much stabilized. He's trying to get him up at this point. It's always funny to hear that slap sound. Once again, you got that 360 security going on. Luckily, they're in pretty confined space with only one way in and out. So for the Arma AI, they're just kind of like holding in. Really worried about this guy. MG, elevated MG position definitely can be a little bit rough. We'll see how they do with that. Alpha Romeo this week.
Go for Alfa Romeo.
I guess status update.
Alpha 1 has breached the compound. We have one casualty, so we're kind of remaining stagnant at the moment, but correction, we no longer have one casualty, and we're continuing mission. Should be done pretty quick.
Outstanding. Keep you updated. Voodoo up.
We'll go.
Bum 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 bum. Alright. Are these guys fighting over here yet? Not quite.
Target in sight.
Just...
Meters, front.
Let's see if these Latvians can actually kill some things. Kind of a little worried, but... This video interactive. I see one of your team members on C-Tab are reminding kind of exterior away from the main assault team. Is everything all good with that?
Roger, that's he said he was going to be AFK for a while, so just
Funny. Yeah. So we got one person having some kind of medical issues going on, so I'm guessing he kind of dropped off to the side, is just kind of standing by. Looks like they've pushed it a little further. They got another casualty down. They're definitely in a slugfest pushing through here. There's quite a bit of places to get shot from, so. One guy up above. I don't know if this guy's. Oh, he's running in and out of stuff. That's kind of meh. See if we can kind of utilize this. So, obviously, created that experience around them. My job isn't to just instantly kill them. Gave them kind of some warning shots to react. If they wouldn't have reacted, though, then it would have been one of those things where I would have actually shot them. That's something I highly, highly recommend for Zeus operators to utilize stuff like that. Remember, your job is not to punish the teams, it's to create an experience around them. So PvP at times, like, you gauge it, If it was more of a special forces and they had a whole team, sure, I might go ahead and just shoot one of them. But in the situation, you got to be able to make that judgment call of what kind of experience are you putting around them. They've already had a couple people down. Looks like they have a casualty. They're pushing around getting their task done. But they're rocking and rolling. All right, let's go ahead and see what happens if we let's do. We're going to simulate a flight going through. We'll see if the flight ends up actually shooting this guy down. It's going to give them the ambiance of those SAMs actually doing stuff.
This is Alfa Romeo. We have audible on some sort of rotary wing asset. Do you know if there's any friendly rotary wing in the area? Over.
Unsure at this time. Latvians might be trying to push forces up via rotary, though. I'll try and see if I can check in with them, figure out what's going on. Interrogative, have you guys been able to take out those surface air sites yet?
Negative. We've secured a lot of assets, but we're still kind of fighting tooth and nail just to hold the compound right now. Over.
Copy that. I'm pretty sure that time hacks, we said that by this time we'd have those down, so they very well might be starting to push out assets. I'll see if I can get a hold of them, relay information. They're not quite down yet. Oh.
Roger, Wilco, we'll expedite.
Yep. That definitely went down. Are they just shooting at it? Oh, yeah. Ah! Oh, man. That's interesting. Oh, Rodney's down again. You guys are still trying to kill that one guy? Holy moly. Alright, looks like they're starting to push up. Come on, all. There you go. This guy is locked on. Like obscenely hard to. I'll probably this video.
Go for Alfa Romeo.
Be advised, I was able to get hold of the Latvians, and it sounds like they in fact are pushing some of their infantry up via rotary wing. They're reporting that they are taking casualties and birds down though from that site.
Roger, copy all. We're expediting at this time. We just took out our first radar, and we're moving out through the compound.
Copy, Zal. I'll go ahead and push that info over. Hopefully we'll be able to make this work.
Roger, I'm not familiar with these systems and whether or not like taking out the radar system makes the rest of the network in-op, but we're going to keep pushing to take out the rest of the stuff while we can.
Understood. Copy that. On the way. Welcome. Roger.
Alright. So, obviously these guys are doing something I don't want them to do, so I'm just going to get rid of them. They were basically engaging this. They pretty much cleared out the compound. They haven't done a full clear. There's still one guy running around, so they may run into him, may not. We'll see. Obviously their tasking isn't to clear the compound. It is to take these out, so they're keep it on task. That would have been unfortunate if that fell on them and killed some of them, but we'll go ahead and send another helicopter through, just give them that idea of that.
Standing by. On the way.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen. That's funny. Welcome to Arma.
Standing by.
Let's do it again. Whatever. Okay. So when you lift aircraft up like that, it's supposed to put them into flying status.
On the way.
Apparently, this one just decided not to.
Voodoo's Alfa Romeo.
So traffic.
At this time, all of the active SAM systems on the towers have been neutralized. Break. We do have a stockpile of MWE in support of those systems in the courtyards. We're going to put our remaining thermal blocks on those, and we're going to exfil. Over.
Voodoo copies all. Keep me updated if we need to reassign tasking and have you guys RTB early versus push over to that crash site. We can do so. Go ahead and give me a call when you guys are done with current tasking. Let me know if you guys are still mission capable for that CSR. Over.
Alfa Romeo copies all. Look up.
Oh. They found the one guy. Ha! So, okay. Big thing here. You notice that he returned fire, but he also moved to cover. That's a really big thing you see a lot of people forgetting is moving to cover is very important versus just standing out in the open getting shot at. So, keep that. It's been a fun and exciting session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, kind of seeing the Zeus side of everything. Obviously, things aren't perfect. I always have different ways of learning. A lot of the things I do are just tricks that I've learned over time that kind of help. So take it as you will. Once again, one of my style of Zeusing is creating, an experience around the players, and not so much just punishing them. Unless if it's a training environment, sometimes you'll see a little more punishment because that punishment will help them remember those lessons. Other than that, it's all about creating the environment and the experience. And the goal of the experience on this one was them assaulting here and see what happens. Obviously, they just touched off that those explosives destroyed the rest of those trailers, and now they're pushing out to go probably utilize that vehicle and go check out this crash site.
Voodoo, this is Alfa Romeo. We've exfil the compound. All SAM systems have been neutralized, and we are pushing to conduct CSAR. Time now.
Pretty got all push over information to Latvians. It sounds like they're already starting to push out rotary waiting assets this time, though. Keep me updated on the CSAR and RTB time.
Woke up.
All right. So obviously now they're just pushing over, trying to get into a position where they can kind of figure out what's going on here. I'm not sure what their plan is. I left this completely open for the team to go ahead and Frago. They're planning on pushing in, figuring out what's going on. But yeah. So the kind of goal is going to be for them to drive some of these vehicles off as they arrive. So we'll see how that goes. They're dismounting, coming down. Okay. All right. So, idea behind this is they're gonna see this, which cannot be damaged, drive off as they arrive, kind of set in that tone that this fuck. I did not do a good job of putting these guys laptop here. SSE. Always plant SSE around if you can. Oh, my buddy. Let's put a phone here. A couple phones there. Fuck it. Alright, so currently they're probably doing a little bit of reconnaissance, figuring out what's going on. Kind of getting an idea of what's going on down there so that they can assault in. Most likely they're trying to figure out if the pilot's being held somewhere or not. That's another really big thing. Something we can do is we can probably put one of the pilots inside of here. So obviously they just kicked off their assault, hitting light armored vehicle first. Are doing a pretty rapid assault down, trying to see if they can find anything. This guy's apparently decided he's just going to start doing what he's doing. This guy just absolutely refuses to get in. Alright, now it's time to have this guy just leave. Alright, as you hear, they're kind of securing that crash site back there. And we've created the imagery, hopefully, then one of the vehicles
Alfa
left.
Romeo. Alpha 1's at the crash site, come down.
This guy is apparently getting smoked. Alfa Romeo, this is Voodoo interrogative. Do you have any eyes on pilots at the crash site or in the area over?
Unsure on pilots at this time. We got, which looks like 4 Latvian packs at the crash site, and they're all KIA over.
Pretty copy, so keep me updated if you find any. What do you have?
Be advised, once we got up to the crash site, there's 3 Russian vehicles here. We weren't able to engage all of them, and it looks like 2 of them fled the crash site. They might have had the pilots in those vehicles and left with them. Over.
Pretty copy, all. We'll keep an eye on the situation. Keep me updated. Anything from your end. Make sure you destroy any sensitive equipment on site. I'll see you guys when you get back to base. God damn, this dude is like. Alright, so at this point we're rocking about 1 hour 20 minutes op time. So the idea is them kind of conducting their final SSE. Hopefully they get in there, find some of those laptops and phones. And they'll go ahead and exfil. Looks like they just blew what could have been any sensitive equipment inside the bird. And you can see them kind of start conducting their final SSE and leave them. They've got their Overwatch team kind of bowing out at this point, breaking down so that they can go ahead and be done. They've had 0 KIA. They definitely had a couple of downs, but nobody died. They've got good medical on their side, so. It looks like they're going to be bringing a couple vehicles back. So one of the big things we do is we have a persistent system. So them bringing back these vehicles will make it so that the vehicles can be stored back at our motor pool, which can be utilized in future operations. Oh, they're just shooting fucking shit out of it, so it can't be used. So you get the assets. Looks like they're RT at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video. The rest of this is pretty much them just making their return back. It's kind of that lull down point.
Voodoo, this is Alfa Romeo. At this time, all sensitive equipment has been scuttled, and Alpha 1's moved back to POV time now. Over.
Pretty copies all. I'll go ahead and see you when you get back to base. Well, we'll call that pretty much mission complete. Hope you guys enjoyed kind of seeing the other side of things on the Voodoo side of things, we call our Zeus operators Voodoo. It's kind of like our blanket term for commands. You'll hear them calling into Voodoo, me calling out as Voodoo. So it's kind of like that central command and control, so you can reel in that experience, keep things going. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this side of things. If you have any questions, definitely throw it in the comments. And I guess till next time, have a good one.